Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, everybody, it's movie or entertainment hour here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am here with John Alcorn. How you doing?
Man, we're good, man. Like I said, I've been trying to avoid certain social media platforms because there is some, let's just say, jerk on YouTube that tried to spoil a scene for arguably the biggest movie of the year.
What movie is that?
Spider-Man: No Way Home. And I saw the title. I was like, nope, I'm exiting out. No. That's not going to happen. No, because you do that, there should be some type of crime. Because once the day of the world premiere, people are going to spoil it, and it's like, no, wait till Thursday, and then I can be traumatized.
Yeah, I hear that's becoming a very popular Spider-Man movie coming out, and I think it's going to be a final one for an actor that's played him for a long time.
Ironically, though, I think it was a director or somebody that said that they have 3 more movies planned out. And so with the multiverse happening, it would definitely be pretty interesting.
And I think there's like a spoof or something going on where multiple Spider-Man characters, I don't know.
It would be Tobey and Andrew. Like, I don't know if you grew up with Spider-Man, but that was a big part of my childhood. My first Marvel movie was the original Spider-Man with Tobey. And to see them on the screen would be like, I wouldn't know how to process that. Because the first one came out, I think we're pretty much about the same age. I was 4 when the first one came out. I'm 24 tomorrow. So it's, 4. So it's more, it's just going to be a huge shock.
Yeah. So is there, I guess since we're on new movie releases, is there any other movies you are looking forward to?
I know there was one that came out the same day that it came out back in October. It's on another streaming platform right now called Dune. It was like a space type of movie. So I thought people would check that out. Definitely, that would be definitely pretty interesting. And no, I say I can't grow a beard, so no, I'm not 18. I'm turning 24 tomorrow. But that's not the point. There's a couple other movies coming out next year. So I mean, we'll just have to kind of find out. Some of these, it's like Ghostbusters. I definitely want to go see. Somebody told me that was pretty good, so I may have to check that out.
Yeah, there's a couple good movies that are out. I know that Kurt Warner movie, The American Underdog, or that looks like to be a good movie.
Day.
Yeah. Well, it says. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I guess. Because it opens Friday, so.
Believe me, I'm pumped for that movie. I think, unless I know you're a football fan, but I followed this guy's career for a long time. So to see that live action,
I have too. Yeah, awesome. I like his story and the way he got into the league. So, what else are you thinking of new releases? There's not a lot coming out.
There's a lot coming out. It's just for me, besides that one and that Dune movie and Spider-Man, there just hasn't been a whole lot. I saw Fast and Furious when it came out. That was the worst movie I've seen almost in my whole life here. So I don't know what they were thinking, making another one, but that's the Fast and Furious franchise. So that movie was pretty bad. I saw Black Widow. That was probably one of my least favorite Marvel movies, but definitely a lot of good movies coming up that I'm without a doubt looking forward to.
Yeah, I've heard that Fast and Furious movie wasn't too good. I mean, maybe the first 1 or 2 were good, but after that, I think you should just stop at maybe 1 or 2. What do you think?
It was the worst in the franchise. We know logic went out the window in Fast and Furious 2 or 3. Or Too Fast and Furious, have you want to be that technical. But this
Mhm.
movie was just so bad. Like when you're watching a movie for the plot point, you think, hey, they're aiming up or stepping up towards talking or introducing that villain, or introducing the character. And so you take some time in the movie, like you saw in the original Spider-Man, to build that story with Peter and Harry and his father. You don't just go from Peter meets Harry, or they go to the science museum. 2 minutes later, he's Goblin, and then you're rushing everything to where you're not really building up. And that was one of the main issues I had with Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah, I think sometimes, storylines of movies, especially when they become popular, uh, they just get kind of out of order, and I don't know, just sometimes it doesn't work out.
It was. I would say it was pretty bad. It was a big bowl of dog charts. I'm sorry. I've been a huge fan of Fast and Furious. I grew up with them, but this one, I would probably pay money not to see it again. If somebody said either you watch this movie or do math homework on a Friday night, I'm gonna pick the math homework.
Doing schoolwork, over a movie that shows is pretty bad.
Well, I didn't say what kind of math homework though. It could be addition and
Uh,
multiplication, something simple. So
no algebra, huh?
mm-mm.
No,
Dude,
I don't blame you.
no algebra. I would prefer not to be traumatized on a Friday night.
Yeah, that's not good. So I was looking at a list, of the worst movies. Uh, they put number one is Vanquish. Some of these I haven't heard of. Music, number two, and number three is the Virtuoso. I don't know if that. I mean, it probably is bad, but maybe that's why I haven't watched it. So, um, what else? What do you're talking about Marvel or yeah, Marvel. What do you think is the worst movie out of the franchise or the?
The worst one, it's hard because most of them, like I'm really easy to impress when it comes to a movie. Like I'm still like a child at heart, but for me, it had to be Black Widow. I think because he's been a huge staple in the Marvel cinematic since 2010, since Iron Man 2. Phenomenal actress. And she never really got a proper goodbye at the end of Endgame. Of course, Black Widow, if you haven't seen it by now, it's not really spoiling the movie because it's on Disney Plus, or you can find a way to pirate it online. Don't recommend doing that because it's like $8 for Disney Plus. But just kind of like you say, we've watched a ton of movies. We talk about like sports. It's like when you rush something that happens too quickly, and it can do you long term. It's like with the Dolphins. He had a ton of success last year, and we saw it happen this year with the defense. But now to movies, though, it just didn't really necessarily build it up like I wanted to. I just thought it was kind of slow. I was hoping it would be a little bit more dark, but it wasn't a bad movie. I just think that one for me probably had to be one of the worst Marvel movies, in my opinion, that I've ever seen.
I mean, that could be. I have a list. There we go. Of I guess they list 20, or no, they list 10. So number 10 was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 9 would be Captain America: The First Avenger. Then you had Avengers: Age of Ultron. 7 would be Captain Marvel. That one's more recent. Ant-Man at number 6. Number 5 is Iron Man 3. Right. Yeah. Okay. Number 4 would be The Incredible Hulk. 3 would be Iron Man 2. At number 2 is Thor. And number 1 is Thor: The Dark World. What they would say is the worst movie.
I could get people's maybe opinion on Captain Marvel. I wasn't a big fan of it. Now, the one thing I do going back to going to Iron Man 3 though is they really captured what it would look like for a character to go through PTSD. Of course, it's set after the Battle of New York. He meets this kid and keeps asking, "Hey, are you okay?" All these questions, and of course, for him to bring stuff back to reality, he had to wash his face in water with a bunch of snow. So, kind of, I don't know what PTSD is like, but kind of making that more realistic. Instead of just, "Oh, yeah, I'm okay," but not kind of going through what it would be like for a character going through PTSD, I think was a little bit more realistic. It's not, "Oh, think about it a couple times in dreams in the movie, and then you move on." That because he thought he was going to die. So I get people's criticisms, but in my opinion, I still think Black Widow had to be the worst Marvel movie of all time.
It just didn't work out, Black Widow.
For me, I love the actress. I think it shouldn't have taken this long to give her a movie, because let's say she's been around since pretty much before they introduced the MCU with Iron Man, right after he announced he was Iron Man. So like, why all of a sudden are we just now giving her a movie? It's been 11 years since when it came out, since she debuted, over almost 11 and a half years, and now she gets a movie. So it's just not my favorite, but again, it's just a matter of my opinion.
Right. I guess we can kind of tie into music. Is there any, like, when you can still do movies, but I guess any music that catches your eye, when watching a movie, or like you just point out?
The one thing I hate and love about Marvel is like they do the heartstrings with the music at like the worst and best possible time. I think that's what some people liked about Guardians of the Galaxy, was the soundtrack for those two movies. Up until we'll see the third one, were just awesome. Were just phenomenal. And like, when a moment is about to happen that you don't want to see in a Marvel movie, when they start playing that heartstring music and you know what potentially is about to happen. Oh no, you're about to be traumatized. But that's what I hate and love about Marvel, and they just do that pretty well.
Yeah, it's like, oh, who are they going to get rid of now? That's pretty
how
much in any show.
Yeah.
Any show or movie, you kind of follow along with the soundtrack, and you kind of know what's going on.
Like at the beginning of Loki episode 6, how, of course, after some of the MCU characters are dead, through the credits they have the character in gray because the character's dead, and the credits at the beginning of the episode, they started playing all the Avenger characters and their sound bites from all different movies. And I was like, what is that like setting up? They just do a lot of setting up through the music very well.
Yeah, and I guess sometimes movies, I guess certain ones, they'll end it with, like, I wouldn't say it to be continued, but something along those lines where, oh, we're gonna make a second or a third one, but here's a little teaser.
Exactly. It's more of like, people could hate the Transformers, and I get that. And after the 5th one, oh my gosh, what you call like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Of course, that never happened. And that's what Marvel does a lot. Like, we think you've watched the original Avengers movies, and they have a end credit scene, and then they end it immediately. Like, I don't know. And then years later, you forget about it. Oh shoot, I remember that scene from a couple of years ago, and kind of bringing it back. Like Tim talks about Iron Man 3 setting up the Ten Rings movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too, and it's like, huh, that's interesting.
Especially because they talked about the Ten Rings in the first Iron Man movie. And then now, 13 and a half years later, you're bringing that movie onto the screen. It's just those little type of Easter egg things are definitely very exciting.
Right. Justin saying Spider-Man should be a woman. I don't know.
Well, Spider-Man is definitely one of my favorite characters. No, overall, I would rather be Iron Man. I mean,
yeah.
Think about it. He has the houses, the cars, and also those suits. You just sell one of those suits. This the helmet of that suit. You're set for life, and you have all these cool suits to be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to spend money on gas or traveling. Let's just use one of those suits, and it'll take me there for you. Just take a nap, you wake up, and you're there. It's just awesome.
Right. I mean, I think I saw the first Spider-Man that they made, and I thought it was good. You know.
What's up, guys?
Like, even
up?
rewatching it, Chris, because I've been rewatching some of these Spider-Man movies up until when I go on Thursday at 3:30, and even the first one, dude, I'm still a little bit crying like a baby. So imagine how I feel in No Way Home when you have a bunch of these characters coming back and you have all these scenarios where Happy could die, you have Aunt May that could be dead. Seeing seeing Green Goblin on screen, who traumatized me as a young child. So Willem Dafoe, I have to thank you for that because that was a good performance. I was traumatized by Green Goblin as a kid, and it looks like we're going to be traumatized by him yet again.
So what do you think, Isaiah? What's your favorite, I guess, Marvel or just movie in general?
Just Marvel movie.
Well,
Yeah, Marvel, I should say.
well, I mean, I just hope that like not a lot of people are watching because this is my first time on Entertainment Hour, and I don't really have that much knowledge about movies. So I'll try my best here. I don't know. I can't promise you I won't embarrass myself, but
No, that's okay. We appreciate it.
is it any movies or is it just one
Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel? Oh gosh. Man. Here. It's I would say probably the original Spider-Man movie. You know, I watched that movie during my senior year of high school, and we were doing finals, and we were done with finals, and it was during the finals week, and we watched our teacher showed it to us because there was nothing else to do, and I really liked that movie. How Spider-Man was able to, I don't know if this is the exact original one, but it was the one where he fought Batman, and it was like a really amazing battle.
Batman's DC.
No, never mind that.
Isaiah, it took you almost 20 years to watch the original Spider-Man movie. I'll give you that fine. But you got Spider-Man doesn't fight Batman. Callan, I'm sending you this show link once we're done so you can watch it. But no.
So
Isaiah, I'll ask you one more. Who played that Spider-Man character in the original Spider-Man? And don't look it up.
Who played the original Spider-Man?
My childhood is
Wasn't
at
it a
stake
guy
here.
named Bubba Watson or something like that?
You said who?
Bubba Watson.
Chris, you see what I have to deal with here on MI6. This is why I go insane sometimes because you insulted my child. You punched my childhood in the nuts.
See, this is why I don't typically come on.
You said you
Entertainment
studied Marvel movies. How do you study Marvel movies without watching the OG?
I did. I watched Spider-Man versus Batman. It was a very
That's not a movie,
fine, a TV show or whatever it was.
dude. No, Spider-Man has never fought Batman unless you're two kids wearing Halloween costumes.
no, Superman fought Batman.
Never mind. That was Superman. That was
Batman
Superman.
versus Superman. That was the movie that was with Ben Affleck as Batman.
Oh, right. It was Ben Affleck. That was the guy that was in it.
Wait, who are you gonna say it was? Who did you think it was?
I thought, well, first I said it was Bubba Watson or Bubba Wilson or whatever. I don't even remember what I said. And then I was going to say Kevin James, the guy that played
Mall Cop? So the guy that played Mall Cop was Batman.
Yeah.
The guy that had a Hello Kitty Band-Aid on his knee became Batman. The guy that lived with his mother who was Batman. Tell me, Bruce Wayne, that's a millionaire living with his mother.
Well, now you know why I don't typically come on Entertainment Hour.
But dude, this is entertaining though, so it's perfect for Entertainment Hour.
Tim Fielder, sorry, he's saying Bubba Wallace is a golfer.
Oh shoot, that's where I heard that name from. Okay, I
Oh,
was thinking
God.
of.
Yeah,
So you
now
got
I
a
remember
golfer.
that.
So how did you think? How did you think Bubba, whatever his last name is, played Spider-Man? Even though the GOAT, Tobey Maguire, my favorite Spider-Man of all time. Like if I had Toby, oh man, if Toby's DMs were open, oh man, this would be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, get him on the air real quick. And
Oh my gosh, it was bad. The first answer that I come on and give on Entertainment Hour, I just think a golfer for an actor. Wow.
so we talked about Kevin James for a minute. Apparently, Justin saying that he's going to be in a movie on Netflix with Sean Payton.
Wait,
what? That actually sounds kind of low key pretty.
Yeah,
awesome.
that I saw the trailer
Seriously?
for it today actually on YouTube. I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw it. It was Sean Payton.
Dude,
You guys
that's
remember when he
awesome.
was suspended for the Bounty Gate thingy?
Mm-hmm.
So, in his free time, what he actually did was he went and coached his son's sixth grade football team as an offensive coordinator, and they're having a movie about that, and it's showing like Sean Payton, showing Sean Payton coaching his sixth grade or his son's sixth grade football team in the movie, and it's really funny actually because some of the players, when you look at them, like there was one guy on a kickoff coverage. One of the guys was running down the field, and when he saw the opposing team's player coming at him, he immediately ran to the sideline. And then the guy was playing Sean Payton. He was like, "What just happened?" And then the coach told him, like, "Yeah, that guy doesn't like contact." And then Kevin James, who's playing Sean Payton, said, "You know, football is a contact sport, right?"
Dude, I can't wait though, because
Yeah, it'll be a good movie for sure.
Kevin James is part of my childhood. So getting that, I mean, see him and Sean Payton, that's actually sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, that would be an interesting movie to see. Kevin James is always funny in movies and in some TV shows too.
So Isaiah, Chris, if
Yeah,
Chris
go
and I
ahead.
went through our worst Marvel movies that we kind of talked about according to the list. So Isaiah, I have to ask you this. This is gonna make my day before my birthday tomorrow. Which is the worst Marvel movie of all time, in your opinion? Marvel.
The
Marvel.
worst Marvel movie. Man.
Marvel, not DC. Hey, don't
I
say
think
Kevin James.
I won't say Kevin James. Don't worry. I would say the worst Marvel movie would be, for me, it's Ant-Man, because like when I look at Ant-Man, I just don't understand like the whole an ant becomes a man or whatever. Like I didn't really watch the entire
So-
movie.
So you didn't watch it, but you said it's the worst Marvel movie. of all
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I like
That
all
doesn't
the
make
other
sense.
ones, like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman.
Superman and Batman is DC yet again. Isaiah.
Isn't like Super Lady also on there too?
Dude,
Or not Super Lady.
Super Lady?
Wonder Woman. What?
that's DC. What's her name? I think somebody used to be in the military. She played not Wonder. It was yeah. So no, that's DC. That's what I said. Marvel.
And then a Green Lantern too, right? And Thor.
Oh,
Thor was part of Marvel, yeah.
Oh yeah, Thor. See this? Oh my gosh, I'm really hoping that like Callan and others are watching this.
you know, I can send the link to Callan just because you gave me the idea. Thank you very much.
It's already bad, but and I'm pretty sure Adam will permanently ban me from ever being on Entertainment Hour after this mess. But I'm trying to think of the other ones. Wasn't Harry Potter a part of? Wasn't
Harry Potter? What?
How about the Wizard of Warcraft or whatever? I don't even know.
World of Warcraft is a video game. What? What? It was a game that my brother played on the computer that I was interested in playing. They brought it back, and I think you can do mobile. I may be wrong on that. World of Warcraft is not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is a video game.
Hey, can we talk about Star Wars instead?
Yes, please. Actually, okay.
Sure.
So, Chris, you're the host.
Let's
It
do
is
that.
your job.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
let
do
you go.
that. What, out of the series, it could be new, it could be old. Which Star Wars did you like the most? We'll just start there.
Well, I like the new one, the one where Baby Yoda is actually born.
Dude, oh my God. There's so much wrong with that sentence right there. Oh my God. Oh my God. Chris, you've seen the both seasons, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
His name is Grogu, number one. Number two, Ten's comment. No, first of all, that's Mandalorian. Second, 3, Grogu. That's Lucasfilm. That's not Star Wars. That's in the Star Wars universe, but it's not Star Wars. That's a TV show on Disney Plus. Those are two different. You saw the original one, right, Chris?
Yeah.
No, I say I appreciate you, but unfortunately, that is not Star Wars.
So Baby Yoda is not a part of Star Wars?
This is Mandalorian is a TV
It's a spin-off.
spin-off.
Oh, okay.
Star
It's
Wars.
spin-off.
I mean, it
And no,
is.
Oh, wait, my favorite Star Wars was actually the
careful.
only Star Wars movie that I've actually watched. It was The Return of the Jedi.
That one was good, yeah.
Okay, so Isaiah also thought, speaking of Star Wars, that a year ago when I first joined, he thought The Mandalorian, when he first heard it, was a romantic comedy show. So there you go.
No.
Yeah, well, what happened was we were doing a Jackbox trivia, and there was a question about Star Wars, and something called The Mandalorian came out, and you had to write in what you thought of like that Mandalorian, and I said I thought it was a romantic comedy.
How? There is no romance at all involved in the show whatsoever.
Well, it just sounds like the word Mandalorian just sounds like a romantic comedy.
So if I don't what part of that sounds actually no, I'm not going to ask that because this is it. But I don't know how you get romance in Star Wars, but hey, whatever floats your boat. I don't know.
All right, so since we have a week till Christmas,
Right.
Justin wants to know what's the best what's the best Christmas movie of all time?
Ooh, man, a lot of good ones.
Be careful about it because I will find where you live and have to have a conversation.
And Callan says Isaiah loses again. This is amazing.
Surprised that Calvin's been watching the program. John, you want to go first with Justin's question?
What I will say is, I'm going to say, once I see Spider-Man on Thursday, that'll be my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Because you say Die Hard's a Christmas movie because it came around during Christmas time. Besides that, it's hard though. I used to watch the Santa, the original with Tim Allen, one of my favorite actors as a kid. Then there was Christmas Vacation. Oh boy, that I would hate to be Clark in that movie or be in that family because she literally was trying to sing the national anthem during prayer time. Then there was one more. I'm trying to remember. Home Alone, the original, not the garbage one they just put on Disney Plus, not the one that's not the real Kevin. I mean, imagine forgetting your kid at home as you're getting on the plane to go opposite of the world. And this is before really the internet was really a thing, before social media, before smartphones. So imagine trying to call all over the place, trying to find your kid, let alone not knowing his state. So I just thought that was a really good one for me.
All right. What about you, Isaiah?
Wait, John, you didn't like Home Alone 3?
I mean, it was okay.
Oh, wait, which is the one that you didn't like? The one that they put on Netflix. Was it the fourth one or the fifth one?
No, they did a new one just on Disney Plus that came out this year, and it looked so bad I didn't even want to watch it. And then there was one that was played by a different actor that I watched it on New Year's, but I did not like it. It was doggy.
Well, for me, I mean, there's a lot of great Christmas movies to choose from, but if I had to choose one, I'd probably say Home Alone 2, not 1, because I mean, 1 is like the original one was great, but I thought number 2 was much better because you had Kevin. You had Kevin like running all throughout the streets of New York, and you know the guys, Harry, and who's that other guy's name? I'm forgetting his name.
Homer.
No. It was like Harry.
Harry Osborn.
I know you're trolling me, John. It was like Harry and was it Jar Jar Binks? No.
That's Star Wars.
Oh,
What? And second, also he was running through the street.
Thank you.
He was
Tim. Thank you.
he
It
was
Mark.
also running. He was also running through the streets in the first one too. So
Yeah, no. I get that, but like that was his own like home area. But him in New York, my gosh, if I was like a 6, 7 year old boy lost in New York by myself, I would have been so scared, man. And like, yeah, Marv and Harry, and they were in like his uncle's renovated apartment, and it was so funny to see. Like my favorite was the one where he steps on the he's like in the garage and he tries to climb up and he steps in like the paint and he gets stuck there and then he falls backwards into something else. So that for me is like my favorite Christmas movie, the Home Alone 2. And also probably actually, Justin, I haven't ever watched Charlie Brown Christmas.
wait, hold up, you've never seen a Charlie Brown Christmas?
Yeah, I've never seen Charlie Brown.
How?
Because I was back then. I wasn't really into Charlie Brown and those movies. I only watched.
Sorry, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
I watched Charlie Brown Thanksgiving when I was 21. That was the first time I saw it.
I mean, fair enough. I've watched the SpongeBob Christmas special all the time, so
Which one have they done? Several of those.
They did a couple of them. They got a new one coming out, but I mean, I don't care. Don't be ashamed. Own it. If you watch a cartoon that's made for kids or a show, just own it. I do it all the time. I even have Homer Simpson pajama pants, where he has all his quotes that he says on the pajama pants.
That's cool. One is Justin's also saying is Miracle on 31st Street. I think that's it. I thought it was 30. I don't know.
Was it 31st Street?
I thought it was named something different, but I could be wrong on that.
I will say one I thought was really overrated. People are gonna get really mad at, or some people may, is that I did not like Nightmare Before Christmas. That's technically considered like a Halloween or I didn't like it. I don't like movies when they sing because I personally just don't like that. So some people think, oh, you're just I just don't personally like the Nightmare Before Christmas, but that's just me.
Yeah,
how about the Polar Express?
Polar Express was good.
You guys like the Polar Express?
Yeah, I used to have the book as a kid.
What about Elf? I know that one's popular.
Oh, Elf, yes.
Yes, with Will Ferrell.
That was a good one too.
I heard he turned down a lot of money not to do it.
It was
really?
It was almost $20 million back in 2013. Because I mean, think about it though. Like, just like we go with some of our favorite shows as a kid, would you really want a remaster, a new version of that? We say we do, but then when we get it, you're like, yeah, that's probably not what I wanted. And so I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. I'm trying to think of another one. Let's see. I don't know if there is. I mean, there's so many, movies out there. I remember watching as a kid the Dr. Seuss, the Grinch, and then you had
The
different
Grinch is still
variations.
Christmas. Hmm.
Huh?
Oh, the Jim Carrey one. That one made
Yeah.
me cry like a baby as a kid. God, I really wanted to punch that little kid in the face because that guy was such a jerk. I mean, yes, because he's hairy and has a mustache a mustache, but
Chrissy Wilson saying, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Mess Around Dave saying Santa Claus. Justin saying Jack Frost.
no, they did have Jack Frost in the
Home
Santa
Alone,
Claus third movie with Tim Allen.
I think I saw the first one in that one. I haven't seen the other two. What do you think is the worst Christmas movie that they've made?
I feel, and I go back to it, and again, people may not like me for it, but it's gonna be Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know why I have such a hate for it. I just don't like when they sing in movies, and I just never got into it. I know some friends I used to have, they loved it. I just, be honest with you, I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, even the animated or even live action, musicals or stuff like that. It just doesn't seem right. I don't know. And a lot of them, a lot of TV networks do musical, spin-offs in the Christmas time and in the winter time. So I did find, the worst movies, Christmas movies, and I'll just read top. We're gonna say 10. Christmas with the Cranks in 3D.
Wait, that was in. They had that one in 3D.
I guess so. Regular
What?
and 3D. Well,
Bananas.
it's weird because Christmas with the Cranks was in 2004, but then they released a 3D version in 2013.
How, like, I watched that like every year with my parents, but I can't really think of that many scenes that would be in 3D, especially with some of the scenes. I don't want to see that in 3D.
Yeah. Deck the Halls. Surviving Christmas. Mixed Nuts.
Excuse me?
That's a real movie title.
What was it called? Because I want to make sure I heard you right before I say
Mixed
something ridiculous.
Nuts. I don't know. I can see why it's on the worst list.
The name alone, dude, that has to be pretty bad.
Yeah. An American Carol.
Oh my. Oh, it had 10% Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
For Mixed Nut, it came out back in '94. But yeah, that just looking at the photos, yeah, I would actually pay not to watch it.
Jingle All the Way. And the Santa Claus, the Escape Clause. I guess that was the last one they done. So yeah, I mean, not every movie's. I guess Tyler Perry released a movie, The Medea's Christmas.
Oh, I've always for some reason had a soft spot for Medea movies. I don't know how.
Yeah, no,
Tyler Perry does all those characters, because some of them are like, dude, some of those characters are blood ugly, but he does it really well.
So, Christy Wilson saying, by the way, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It was taking place during Christmas.
So it takes time during Christmas time, but it's not a Christmas movie. Like, I get it. I'm on the pretty much the same kind of boat you are. I think some people, because it aired around during Christmas time, that it's a Christmas movie. No, that would be like if let's take some movies we've loved. That's almost like saying that the new Spider-Man movie is a Christmas movie because it came around during Christmas time. No, that's not the case. And again, unpopular opinion, I'd never really got into the Die Hard movies, but we don't want the pitchforks coming, so let's just move on.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm in the same boat of it's not a Christmas movie. It's like saying, a movie. You could say a lot of movies coming out now is a Christmas movie because it came out in Christmas around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm. Like
No,
I think Christmas Vacation wasn't that the one where he had. I see this it's a tradition me and my parents do, is where they have some family come and they live in the trailer, and he has a
Mhm.
wife and kids. That like imagine if you have to be Clark Kent and you worked your butt off all year. You hate all your coworkers because of basically, I mean, like, hello, how's it going? Screw you, screw you, screw you, screw you, and then you don't get a Christmas bonus, and then your stupid family member literally kidnaps your boss and brings him back to you, and how disgusting this guy is. I mean, imagine the most disgusting person you could imagine. This guy tops it. I can't remember his name, but he was just so gross. I can't get it out of my head.
right. Uh, who's your like all-time favorite actor or actors, or it could be both?
I have a few. For me, it's been Andrew Garfield, even outside of Spider-Man. This guy played, I think it was Hacksaw Ridge, is a movie I saw at my church when we did at the movies. That movie was just awesome. Like he intertones in it. I don't know. I'm not even sure if that's even a word. But he's just such a good actor. I don't know. Like some of them, they're just natural born actors, and for me, that has to be one of them. 2 would be Chris Pratt. I think number 3 would have to be. I would say Robert Downey Jr. One last one. It's just really hard though because I think Andrew, even the new movie he did that I'm thinking about checking on Netflix, Tick Tick Boom, and just the performances he does. I don't know, man. Just even go. I don't know if you've seen Hacksaw Ridge, but
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it, but I've heard of
it's
it. Yeah.
it's a I say spoil. It's been out since 2016, but it's a truly inspiring movie.
I like movies like that too. Robert Downey, Justin saying Robert Downey Jr. is good. He is. He's also saying Adam Sandler. I like Adam Sandler sometimes. I think we lost John real quick, but no, I like Adam Sandler. Um, let's see, Chrissy Wilson is also saying one of the favorite actors is Kevin Costner. Even though I have never seen one episode of Yellowstone, I haven't seen uh, an episode of Yellowstone either. A lot of people say it's really good. Uh, I'll probably have to find a way to watch it because I think I'm too far into the series. I think they're on, from what I heard, it's on season 4, so we're gonna have to find a way to, or I will have to find a way to find season 1 to 3. But I have heard it's really good. Um, but no, I haven't seen it either.
I mean,
What's up?
Sorry, somebody.
Oh, Chrissy Wilson was saying one of her favorites is Kevin Costner, but she hasn't seen Yellowstone, and I haven't either. I hear it's really good, but I haven't seen it either. What are your?
Sorry, Siri was really glitching out. What were you saying?
Oh, you're good. Chrissy Wilson's she likes Kevin Costner, even though she hasn't seen Yellowstone.
I actually, Kirstie Wilson, I haven't seen Yellowstone. I've heard of the Yellowstone Park, but that's pretty much the closest thing.
I mean, I think they've done movies before the TV shows. She's saying season 4 is filmed in Montana. Justin is saying he likes Zendaya. and Tom Holland.
I mean, I could get Zendaya's a good actress now. Tom Holland's been pretty well, but
Mhm.
I definitely want to see a Venom inspired movie that's a little bit more dark.
Wasn't there like a darker darker Spider-Man at one point?
It was Spider-Man 3. Like I wish it took a darker approach. It was one of those where they had a lot of potential, but they did too many things. They were going to come out with Spider-Man 4. It's supposed to come out May of 2011, and in 2010 that was, of course, and that was canceled. And then a couple months later, Andrew Garfield became Spider-Man. But originally in that movie and I get why people don't like it, but again, like I said, I could easily I'm not hard to impress when it comes to a movie. Besides Fast and Furious 9, to where he got the symbiote and that came out from one of the other planets, and as he's taking this little ride on his little not bicycle but a motorcycle, whatever you want to call that, with MJ, and it attaches to his body and basically takes over his type of personality, and that's where maybe you've seen the memes of Bully Maguire. Because in that side of the movie, he has that haircut and the hairdo and
Mhm.
kind of acting where it basically takes over his body. It's a symbiote, just like the movie Venom. It basically takes over his body, his personality, to where that Venom, that symbiote, is now his brain or how he thought. And so it was interesting, but like I said, they tried to do a little bit much. But again, I still like that movie.
Chrissy Wilson saying that she thinks Zendaya should be in Dune. So what do you think of that?
I was Kirsty, I need to finish it. I started it the other day on HBO Max because again, I don't really go to the theater unless it's a Marvel movie. But well, at least anymore. It definitely looks interesting because they also have Dave Bautista in it.
Yeah.
The guy that played Thanos, which is actually ironic. And a couple other familiar characters you're familiar with. So I know it didn't get talked about because you had all these new Marvel TV shows and Spider-Man's being talked about. But it's a respectable movie, and I recommend anybody that gets a chance to see it. She's outside of even in Spider-Man or outside of Spider-Man. Zendaya is a phenomenal actress.
Now, didn't she get her start? I know a lot of actresses and actors do, but like on Disney.
She did. If I remember, it was Shake It Up. I think.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, because I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually forgot about that till literally just now. She did. It was Shake It Up after. Yes, it was. I was right. That's why I'm glad you brought that up. It was Shake It Up after, right before this is a season before the Sweet Life on Deck ended. So some of those guys are getting out of Disney. So of course she was also in Space Jam. But
She was?
two in 2023. Sorry, my brain's all over the place. But yeah, she was in Shake It Up. She's one of the main characters.
Oh yeah, I meant like Space Jam.
Space Jam. Shoot, I have to look back because I saw Space Jam. She played
the remake or the original.
Lola Bunny. Well.
Oh, Will. Okay.
Yeah, and but no, she was the original character in that show, and yeah, I thought it was good. It was right around summer. Our childhood shows ended. It was pretty good, and I just can't believe from doing that to being a co-star on Disney to being in the most popular movie potentially of all time. And I think that's awesome. I definitely continue to support her career.
Okay, I know he's I guess you can say boxer, but Jake Paul. I don't think he's an actor per se.
He did have part of our own show on Disney Plus for about a season, and then got fired, I think.
Because I only know him as like a wannabe boxer.
Exactly, and so he did have a show for a short time. I think right before Vine was dead, but
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't last long because the show. I'll be honest, the show was terrible.
All right, this is debatable, I guess. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's that. No, that I would have to completely disagree. Don't know if we're trolling, but
Jake Paul is a YouTuber and boxer. Yeah.
he is, and he had that failed Disney show. It was pretty bad. Like for me, like I get easily impressed. I'm not hard to impress when it comes to TV shows, but
Right.
that one was terrible.
It just seemed like after the '90s, a lot of even with kid shows, it just kind of just fell off.
Especially with Cartoon Network, like they ruined when they had Teen Titans Go. That was
Yeah.
that was not a
After
good TV show. I'll be honest.
yeah, after Teen Titans, it just went downhill. And then they kind of revived it. I guess you say kind of. It just didn't work out, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he's saying Total Drama wasn't that good.
Well, I mean, you're
The
Seven.
first one, huh?
yeah. I mean, the first one I guarantee I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but there were some episodes I watched that were pretty good. But I mean, it was popular. So if you're talking about the first one, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Let's see. I haven't watched Chrissy Wilson saying I haven't watched Cartoon Network in several years. Not interested anymore. I'm not either, but I'll kind of look just to see what's going on, and no, you know, I'm not sure what they're quite doing, but
That's why I'm thankful for streaming platforms because Cartoon Network, the last Cartoon Network show I watched, that was OG. It was on Netflix's Foster Home of Imaginary Friends.
oh, that one, yeah,
I used to watch all the time.
yeah, that one was very popular. Towards the end, I guess of their wrong. Justin's hearing that they're making a streaming service.
Which to me kind of makes sense, Justin. Like I think of what we're seeing with movies and TV shows now is straight to release streaming services is pretty much taken over. And you're
Mhm.
seeing with Apple DVD when Disney came out, Paramount Plus, and at this point, I don't see why people would do cable TV. Like, what do you benefit from that? From a streaming service that costs you less, you pretty much do the same thing. And with live TV with it, so like you still get cable, but it's on a streaming service.
Right. I think a lot of people are still, in the era or the area of, they don't want to stack bills on top of bills, which I understand. Getting all of these streaming services just to get certain channels where they can get cable and they're just paying once for, I don't know, 200, 300 channels, something like that.
And I guarantee I haven't done cable in since I was in maybe high school before, but cable is getting still pretty. Even DirecTV is coming out with their own little streaming service. I see their ads all the time with Serena Williams and all that.
Yeah.
It's just really expensive. That to me was the biggest turnoff. Like if you offered something, maybe like I know occasionally if you complain to customer service, you get like a free year of NFL Network or something. But like I said, with a lot of these streaming services, you get deals during the year, during Christmas time. Like when Disney came out, I got a deal that it was $7.80 a month,
That's not bad.
and the ESPN bundle, ESPN
Yeah.
Plus, Disney and Hulu, all that for $15 a month.
That's not bad.
This is the same stuff you would really get for your cable, but there's more, and it costs you. Let's say average. It's $15 times 12 months. That's $180. That's pretty much maybe a month and a half of cable. I could be wrong because I haven't watched cable in a long time.
Right. Let's see. What Justin's asking, what happened to Drake Bell?
We're not going to be discussing that because that is a situation that we do not discuss. We are not in
Yeah.
news network. We do not
Right.
case, so there would be no discussions on that. So please do not ask any questions like that.
All I know is he's not acting anymore. That's
Well, y'all can do the research if you want, but I will not comment. I know Chris won't either. We're a entertainment network here to
Right.
bring entertainment and not to talk about certain conversations because we're not in the place for that.
he's also saying that Thursday Night Football will be streaming service, and it kind of already is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can watch it. Let's see, it's on Fox. So yeah, you can watch it on the app, or if you have Prime, Amazon Prime. But they're working that direction, and I heard they're trying to get the Manning cast over to Amazon.
Dude, that I've been loving some of that though. Like Eli makes a joke, man. I'm surprised that Helen's been able to fit on that fat head of yours. And it's just the back, like that's what love. Like people like you and I like know football.
Yeah.
But for people that are just now getting out in the beginning of football, they're able to break that down and make it a little bit easier for people like them to understand versus guys like us who have been watching the game for a long time.
Right. And it's also fun too because yeah, you're watching the game, but it's kind of like you're sitting at home watching it maybe with some family or friends, and you're just talking about it, but you're also watching it.
It definitely makes it a lot more fun. Like ironically though, like things that are kind of like dying. For some reason, they still have a red box nearby, close by where I live. I think, and I don't understand like how Redbox is. Even Redbox has now started their potential streaming service, and it's free. So I'm like, they're heading down the road, Chris, of Blockbuster. They tried to do it, copy Netflix,
Oh man,
and
I used to like going to Blockbuster because it had like the movies and the video games or whatever you needed.
ironically, for my 18th birthday, and it closed down a year later. I grew up in McAllen. It's a super small town, and we still had a Blockbuster there back in 2015. So I'm like, this is where I want to go for my birthday. I want to visit Blockbuster, and we did. Those photos are on my Facebook, and that was just really cool. But now you're seeing this. You saw this with Toys R Us. You saw it with Blockbuster. Redbox used to be a popular thing about 10 years ago, but now it's like streaming services is where it's at, especially with music and movies and all that. So it's kind of down towards.
I think there's one no, it's not running, but one Blockbuster around, but it's mainly like a tourist attraction.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Actually, no, it's a real life store in Bend, Oregon, and they're the remaining Blockbuster ever. And that's like, if I had the money to go to Bend, Oregon, I'm doing it, man. That's my childhood in one store.
Huh. Chrissy Wilson saying that she's ever, rarely been to a Blockbuster, but when I did, I liked it. Yeah. And then, after a while, they'll be like, do you just want to buy it?
Exactly. I get people's maybe, and then we also had one in Round Rock called Hollywood Video. Pretty much about just different company name, a different company. But I used to go all the time on Friday nights and play and try to beat in Madden. Some of the employees there at Blockbuster would be great.
And even, I think they're still around, but GameStop, it's kind of fizzling out too.
When I used to play video games, I stopped going to GameStop even when I played video games a while back because I had like a used game store where I could get much better cash back from my deal. I could find older consoles that I'm really interested in. They go back to Atari, even older than that.
Yeah.
And for example, like if I were to, let's say, buy a Switch, let's say I got the new one, or a game. Let's say you just bought a new Madden game, even though I say new Madden game like they're new.
Right.
About a month later, you probably get $5 for it, maybe $10 if you're lucky, and that's in cash. So I really can't remember the last time I've been to GameStop. Sadly,
I can't either. Maybe about 10 years ago. I don't know. It's been a long time, but
like even when I play games, I just do like I buy it digitally online. Like I don't like even when Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order came out. Like I don't know if you play video games or not or have, but a lot even then and back in 2019 now when I used to play, I just I buy digitally online. I don't have to go through the store. I don't have to be like, oh no, there
Yeah.
isn't a copy left. But some people still feel the opposite, and well, that's okay.
And you could also too, you know, oh, I want this game, but I don't want the game I already have, or this game I used to play, I don't want to play it anymore, and you just trade out.
You can now even like a used game store. I can still get like a little bit more,
Mhm.
but it just in general, you're not gonna get your full investment back. So that's why every time I would buy a game digitally, I know this is a game I'm gonna play. Even if I don't play the game for another year, I'm gonna love coming back to it and continuing to play. Now, if you play video games, occasionally, depending on how long you've had the game or how much you played, you may not be able to get a refund. Because I remember when I had an Xbox, yeah, hey, I just bought this game. I downloaded it, never played it, opened it or nothing. Then yeah, we could probably work your way around. And pre-orders though, that's a different story. And that's why like, I'm very impatient, Chris. So when one of my games, Watch Dogs, came out, that's not a good game.
Right.
I had to change my or location to like outside the U.S. so I don't have to wait another 2 days because well, very impatient. But that versus going through the store, because back in the day, if y'all don't remember or people are too young, they used to have midnight releases at GameStop back in the day. Back when Halo 2,
Yeah.
back in the early days of Halo before the PS3. That's a long time ago. During the Blockbuster days. They used to have midnight releases, midnight launch parties for like Halo 3, Halo 2, and a bunch of these older games on the 360 and PS2. That was so much fun. Like going to there just hanging out and all those things. But now it's like, I mean,
Right.
I hate to be the bummer, but even like I do Apple Music. I still have my community college email, so I submitted it once a year. That's like $5.50 a month. Versus like I don't know, it's just things people got to adapt.
Yeah. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till a CD comes out to get that song or the album. And you don't you need to get the album. You could just get the song that you really like off of it.
Exactly. Like for example, we have an Amazon warehouse, or at least I said we have an Amazon warehouse literally 10 minutes from where I live. Like packages once it opens up, delivery is just like that. Pretty much anything besides maybe clothes. Even like grocery
Right.
store curbside. So that's just what's happening in movies, and so it's unfortunate, but I mean the Marvel movie would be the only one I'll experience in person.
Let's see. We'll do a couple more comments here. Chrissy Wilson saying, my husband plays video games himself, but he's very picky about what games he plays. I can be sometimes, but
Good man, and I'll add to that real quick is that um, when I had it in the trailer for my show and I said EA Madden 21 was so bad, it's that EA blocked me my email address. Back after about a month after Madden 21 came out, I sent him a bunch of DMs on Facebook and emails and say, "Hey, I would like a refund on this game. Madden 21 is and a bunch of poop emojis because the game was so bad." And they blocked me and they read their message.
wow.
But your husband, I don't know who your husband's name is, but he's very smart though, because a lot of times companies, and this goes back, and my brain's all over the place. Like back when Madden used to be good, Madden 06 was the last one that was like, okay, we're heading in that direction. When you saw the gameplay before it came out, you know how they do E3, it used to do E3 every year. The game showed wasn't gameplay at all. So that like people can kind of manipulate the market like the Marvel's Avengers game. I don't know if you ever heard about the game.
Right.
It is Spider-Man exclusive. The game is garbage. Like they keep ads. They make things the products look so good. Like we've all been there. And then when you get the game, like your husband has done, I'm assuming, the game is terrible. And so I think he's very smart, and you have to be particular if you're playing video games, because if you're EA or Ubisoft, do not buy from them, because Watch Dogs, not a good game. EA, Madden, not a good game. And please do not mess up the new NCAA football game. I am begging you with all of my football heart.
Justin's asking, is Will Patterson, the best Batman?
What do you think, Chris?
I'm thinking no.
I really want to get, even though I obviously never watched the Twilight, and unfortunately had to hear about it in middle school because all the girls like Robert Pattinson. But, it looked interesting in trailer. For me though, and I know I'm like I say old school, but the original, or I say the original, for me the original with Christian Bale came out in 2005. When he's like, you know what, Dad, let's go watch it on Father's Day. For me, Christian Bale is the best Batman. The Dark Knight is the best Batman movie in my opinion. Heath Ledger, unfortunate situation. That's just where that needs to be talked about more. But the performance with him and Heath Ledger, I think, was just super legendary.
Yeah, and I think some people might say Adam West on that one.
And it's definitely without a doubt a good movie. I just think maybe because I'm barely from the 90s, I just don't think movies when you had to go pow and then it potentially shows up on the screen and it's like, well,
Yeah, it's
maybe
like,
it's
we
not.
know it went pow. I mean,
Yeah. Even the day when they had the Batman TV show, they wore the Batman suit, but it looked like they were wearing a diaper. It was kind of funny. That old
yeah.
Batman TV show.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. So we kind of ran over, but before we head out, any last words, or before we head out, final thoughts?
No, I was just glad to be on and potentially roast Isaiah just a little bit. And it's always good to talk movies and everything. I'll be getting a box of tissues tomorrow because I'll be watching the new Spider-Man movie, and I am ready but not ready.
Yeah, I hope it turns out good. I mean, movie remakes or new movies, they kind of have a high standard,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't you say? I mean,
They
especially
definitely,
especially for a franchise like Spider-Man.
definitely, especially with who's in the movie, the hype is astounding. It'll live up to it. Now there'll be some people that will complain, but I think overall it's going to be a phenomenal movie.
I think it will, and thank you guys for watching and tuning in for Entertainment Hour. Coming up, we're gonna have Tuesday Night Mania covering all types of wrestling. So make sure to tune in for that. I'm Crispy Bacon with John Alcorn, and hope to see you guys soon.